Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and open up the chat. Give me 1 second. Close this up, open up the chat. Give me 1 second. Oh, it's at the left. Okay, so I'm gonna go back up to the top. I asked you to put in 3 or 4 questions. And the more you learn, the better you'll be prepared when you get out on the road. What do you do if you cause an accident? Okay, you're going to be ticketed. An officer is going to come to the scene. He or she will come to the scene of an accident. They will interview the other driver. They'll interview us. And because we live in a society today where there are a lot of cameras, if we have an accident by a store or in a neighborhood, the officer may say, I'm going to run to this house to see if they have video footage, because most people have security cameras. A Ring doorbell is a brand name, but people have cameras. Someone might be nice to say, I have a picture of the accident. An officer will look at the accident. The officer has to determine who is at fault. And once they determine who's at fault, who's more at fault, you will receive a ticket. It could be both of you. It could be one of you. Then you got to call a towing company. Your car will be towed either home or to a repair facility. You're going to have to go to court with your parent, which is very scary. And then your parent's insurance will go up 30%. You will receive a ticket on your driving record. You have a permit issue number from the state. And then that's going to impact you in segment 2. You won't be able to take segment 2 in 3 months. How do I know? I had a student who got into an accident. It wasn't one of my students, but the officer said, he can't take segment 2. I'm like, why? He got into an accident. I'm like, oh. So by you getting into an accident, it's going to prolong you getting, hey, E, how are you doing? Hey, it's going to prolong you getting your license, whether you are a teen or if you're an adult. It's still going to impact you. Your car smash, you might lose your job. You're going to have to ask someone to help you get to work. You're going to find out who your true friends are. Your friends will be like, I can take you for a couple of days, but I got to get to work, man. Or I can pay you money every week. Okay, but you're going to find out who your true friends are. And then your insurance is going to go up, right? A car is not a toy, but a lot of you drive it like it's a toy. It's a 3,000, 4,000 pound missile that you can kill yourself and other people around you. Why were the fines so small? Every state, that's a good question. I'm going to talk to the people in our county. I'm going to ask police departments. The fines are small because in our society today, we place more value on property, murder, kidnapping. We place more emphasis on those types of crimes. So you could literally run someone over, get slapped on the hand, have your license taken away 6 months, 8 months, a year, and still have a license. So I think we need to change our mindset in terms of different rules for different states. New York is different than Michigan. Michigan is different than Texas. Texas is different than Nebraska. I think maybe the code needs to be uniform, but every state is different. What we do in New York is different than what we do in Texas. And Texas shouldn't be telling us what to do because they're from California. Okay? Every state has their autonomy to set rules and prices and fines. Tickets are very expensive in New York. Tickets are very expensive. And in Ohio, if you get a ticket, you got to pay on the spot. If you don't get it, if you don't pay, they take you and your car to jail. So it's really important. If you keep breaking the same laws, does punishment get worse? Eventually it does. You hear stories, this person has 3 DUIs, driving under the influence. This person has had 7 accidents. Eventually they're going to take your license, but then they're going to drive without a license, and that makes it worse. So you can't stop people doing what they want to do. If E wants to do something, if Mr. Myles wants to do something, if Tyler wants to do something, if Josh wants to fall asleep and he's looking at me side-eye right now, right? You're going to do what you want. There is no like greater soul. I mean, there's God. This is not for God right now, but if you are sloppy, drive reckless, disregard, eventually you're going to kill someone, break the law, get your car destroyed, and then you're going to make excuses, right? And that's important. You want to learn the right way. If you learn the right way to drive, go slow through neighborhoods, go slow in school zones. If your mom and dad act crazy, I can't be like them. I got to learn. I want to be different. My sister's got 7 tickets. My brother's got 5. Mom and dad had 3 crashes. You might be the one to break the cycle. You got to learn the law. The law is no joke. Let's keep going. Come on, let's get some more questions in. Hold on. I'm on private message. Hold on. Hold on. Everyone. Okay, now I see all the questions. Here we go. Okay, what should you do if you witness a car accident? Well, number one, you want to speak truth. We want to speak truth. Okay, I saw this accident. The red car caused it, or no, the other car made a mistake. You owe it to yourself to speak truth, right? You got to read what every driver must know. We really should have an officer come on. We should look at more accidents in our county, in our state. What's happening in the middle? What's happening in the Midwest? What's happening in the East Coast? What's happening in the West Coast? What's happening with trucks? I need, as an instructor, to show you more stuff so you know. All right. You got to have good insurance too. Some states you can just have a minimal insurance, just enough to cover you. If you have an accident, let's pretend Stella, that's your name? I like Stella. Okay, let's pretend Stella was going to Tropical Smoothie. Her foot hit the gas instead of the brake. It happened. Your foot hit the gas instead of the brake. You go through the building. Your insurance will cover about $80,000 to $100,000 in property damage. So what will happen, Stella, not putting negative manifest on you, but you were parking, you went to Tropical Smoothie, it happens. So you accidentally hit the gas, the car goes through the front window. I guess Tropical Smoothie is the name of the company. They contact your insurance company, you get a ticket, but no one was hurt. They're going to sue your insurance company for $67,000. They got to call out the construction company. They got to rip the front of the business down. They got to call masons to come in. Your car went into the building. You smashed the showcase. You did a lot of damage. So that could, and plus they're going to lose money. So they're going to sue the insurance company for 1 week of lost wages. It could be $100,000. But they can say, well, my client only has $60,000 insurance. Well, we want to sue her for more. Well, that's all you're going to get. So they're going to have to repair it. True story. I saw that happen. So always speak truth. Why are there 6 hours of driving, 4 hours of, you must state law. You have to complete 6 hours of driving, 4 hours of observation. New York is different. New Jersey is different. Every state is different. So Ohio may say 8 hours. Okay. Texas lets the mom and dad teach you. You don't have to go to driver's ed. If we were in Texas, your mom and daddy teach you. You're like, what? Your mom and dad will teach you. You need to learn defensive driving. Thank you, E. You got to learn defensive driving. I want to see that integrated into driver's ed. And Ohio is doing that. Florida is doing that. Up to age 21. You need to learn defensive driving because too many of you are dying. So in our state, 6 hours of driving, 4 hours of observation. What types of cars will we learn how to operate? Unfortunately, we don't have manuals. We have an automatic. I would love the electric. They are driving schools across the country and across the world using electric vehicles. It's nothing new. They just disable some of the self-driving functions. I have a good friend. He's also He's out there posting content. He's got a Tesla. He's doing driver's ed. So you're going to see more companies using electric cars. Gas costs money. You got to fill the car up, oil. But when you have an electric car, some of the maintenance is cut down. But you need to learn how to drive a manual. I know how to drive a manual, but a lot of you don't know how. There's a lot of wear and tear on the clutch. It takes more time, but they're still manuals. You still need to know how to drive. So we will drive an automatic gas-powered car. I appreciate Isabel asking that question about manuals and automatics and electrics. Thank you. Has there been a specific type of car that has been repeatedly been in accidents? It's any car. Any car can be an accident. Thank you for being on fire. Any car can be an accident. We are in a large Impala. I'm a larger guy. I don't like to be in a small driver's ed car. Impalas are safe vehicles. They're large vehicles. They protect us. You want something that's big and has metal around you to protect you. That's what you need to have. You got to have a safe car. A lot of your parents will put you in smaller cars. It's cheaper, but you really need that big old F-150, Ram 1500. Any large to mid-sized vehicle is good because you're the most important thing. And you have to know what gear you're into. Okay, what types of accidents are the most common? Lane changes, side swipes, backing into people in the parking lot, left-hand turns, merging on expressway, side swipe accidents, rear end accidents, just to name a few. And at night, it is more difficult for you to see. And it's still summer. We're starting to get into the fall. We're going to lose daylight. I'm looking outside the window. It's 7:42. We still have light around 8:30, 8:40. We go start getting dark. A month ago, it wouldn't get dark to 9:30. Okay. Hellcat is not a good car because it's very expensive. The insurance is high. The power is ridiculous. And if you just tap the gas, you're doing 80. You don't need that type of power. You have to learn. Do you fully trust Tesla? The answer is 90%. Josh, great question. If the sensors are dirty, mud, rain, snow, they are not working. No, I'm not going to be chilling, eating my yogurt, saying, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and drive to New York. And boom, I rear in the semi-truck. No. And Elon Musk did say there will still be loss of life as we figure out the smart driving AI technology. So 90%. I don't trust Ford's self-driving feature. I don't trust General Motors self-driving feature. It's still developing. And your age group will be the guinea pigs. Ha ha ha. I talked to an engineer from General Motors. He said about 10 years. It's going to take 10 years. So you guys are 14 to 16, 26. It's going to take 10 years. We have to change our infrastructure. We need more sensors in the road. There's a lot that has to happen. It's slowly happening whether you want it to or not. And then when you guys are in your late 20s, you're going to get an electric car. I'm going to get one and work on it. And I'm going to put in a new battery and boost the AI. And there's your hot rod. It's going to happen. There are guys doing this now and ladies doing this now. So we are in this new technology age. And I had that as a training 4 years ago or 6 years ago about the new self-driving cars. And Tesla is the #1 brand. And then but Ford makes the Mach-E. Okay. And there are other electric vehicles out here. And there's the Cybertruck. All of you seen the Cybertruck. So we know this. So the answer is 90%. Do we need to print our other documents out? That's up to you. I don't want you to kill a tree. Okay? Don't kill the tree. Whatever you need to do to organize yourself. I'm not your babysitter. If you don't do your work, you're going to struggle in driving. You're going to struggle on the test. And reality is about half of you don't study. Why would you not study when you're going to take your knowledge test in 3 weeks? That's stupid. But some of you don't study. You don't study in school. You get A's and B's. You study and you still get C's. So this is one of the most important classes. And during the classroom time, I can tell those kids who are studying, I'm not going to look over your shoulder. This is one of the most important classes you're ever going to take. but many of you won't put in the work. Why are cars able to go so high speed? Any car, a car from 1925 can go, you can die at 10, you can die at 20. I don't think speed is linear. As you go faster, the odds and risk get higher. But our freeways are designed to be at 55 or 60 or 65 or 75. So I think that's a relative question. And we have to be able to get to point A and B at a certain amount of time. So why are cars able to go so fast? I think people like speed. I think automotive manufacturers make a Hellcat, a Trackhawk, a Mustang, the ZL1 Camaro 6-speed that I sat in. It cost $86,000. My hot rod performance days are over. I had the SRT Grand Cherokee, 600 horsepower, all-wheel drive. My daughter drove it. She handled it pretty good. Son drove it. We won't talk about him and how fast he drove. Any truck or car can get up 60, 70, 80, 90. I think limiting the vehicle speed is kind of too late. Because they're talking about putting speed governors in semi-trucks, but I think that could cause an accident. I think it's too late. The public's going to say, no, I'm not going to download this app from my phone to have you cut power to my car. But we're still going to have death. We're still going to have people speed through school zones. We're still going to have people speed through neighborhoods. You are young. You're going to drive 10 over, 12 over, 20 over. I can get to school in 5 minutes. Watch. You got there in 3. Yay. So if you get rewarded for driving badly, it's going to start becoming normal. And you should get scared running yellow lights. But then when you start running more yellow lights, it's not going to give you a psychological effect. So I think with the speed thing, it's really self-control, but a lot of us don't have self-control. When a person is struck and killed by a car, how does, so what's going to happen with the insurance? Okay, so if a person is struck and killed, the police officer is going to call for the coroner. They're going to come, take pictures of everything, interview people, try to reassemble the accident. They will get the body out of the car, wrap it up, take it to the morgue, determine the cause of death, alert the family, and family, do you want an autopsy or this is what happened? And then this will be brought to court. The insurance will pay the cost of transporting the body, those services. The insurance will do that. A good question, a little morbid, but good question. Does the insurance pay for everything? Mostly everything. It might not pay for towing expenses if both cars are crashed. It might not pay for a medical examination. Let's pretend you were on cold medication. You should not have been driving. You hit a lady because you were on codeine. Codeine makes you kind of drowsy. You hit a lady. You injured her really bad. She's paralyzed. They get a lawyer. You're about to get sued. And then they're going to test you. And you should not have been driving because you had codeine in your system, which says clearly do not drive and operate a heavy vehicle. So you're kind of setting yourself up for failure. We talk about that in class. If a person hits and causes a car crash and causes damage, but they were under the influence of medical condition is kind of slippery. Let's pretend grandma had a seizure. She went through a light. Not her fault, but her fault. Let's pretend Josh had a seizure because he looks like he's falling asleep. Now, Josh, I'm playing with you. All right, Josh, let's pretend he was bored. He was driving for 5 hours. He drove to New York. He drove to Texas. He drove to Florida. He's kind of in a trance right now. He goes to a light, hits someone. Well, he did break the law. He did run over someone. They're going to test. If they think you're under the influence, they will test you. It's true. Medical conditions are a little bit more slippery. People do have medical conditions, but this is why they're changing laws in Ohio. They're changing laws in Florida and across the country because people are living longer. They have to look at people 60, 70, 80, 90. You probably said, well, grandma shouldn't be driving anyway. That's age discrimination. Yeah, Josh, it's all fluffed up. It's good. It's all good. Remember, I teach kids in high school, middle school. Josh is like, whatever, bro, shut up. It's okay, Josh, don't care. Anyway, I know that's what it is. And that's what I go to. See, like Josh's attitude, he's like, whatever, bro. But that's the attitude we have today. And students like Josh, you're like, whatever, bro. But that's the attitude of young people today. Josh could be a totally nice guy, but he's kind of showing disrespectful, whatever behavior. I'm trying to help him. But that's where we are in 2025. Teens don't care. They tune you out. I can't worry about students like Josh. You could be A1, Josh. But also, that sends me a message because I'm watching all of you right now. And that's just who you are. Also, when you drive, don't wear your hoodie. Because if you put your hoodie on, you won't be able to see left and right. You're going to take my hoodie? Because if you have your hoodie on, you can't see your peripheral vision. Also, wear good shoes. Wear thin sole shoes. Don't wear Crocs. Don't wear flip-flops. Don't wear sandals. I'm telling you right now, if you have Crocs on, I'm sending you home. If you have sandals on, I'm sending you home. Converse are the best shoe to use. You want to have a thin sole shoe. So that's giving you some tips. So if you have improper shoe gear on, I'm going to send you back. So anyway, a low blood sugar, that happens. They'll do a medical report. Question, what do we do if we still have questions after this appointment? I'm answering everything right now. You're going to have homework. You got to do your work right now. You'll have general questions. Why isn't driver's training included? It is included by our state. The reason you guys are here, you are the age to take driver's ed. You want to learn how to drive. You could wait till you're 18. Good luck with that. You want to drive. You have to enroll in the state certified class. I'm a state certified instructor. You got to follow these rules. And if you don't, you won't make it. There are about 1,000 kids who don't make it every year. They come late, they keep missing, they get kicked out of class. So the $35 charge is for when you sign up for driving. Let's pretend Josh and Tyler are driving tomorrow. But Josh forgets, I got a football game tomorrow. And I'm here waiting at 4 o'clock. If he doesn't show, then that's a $35 no-show fee for driving. You're going to take a screenshot of your work and then send it to me. What do you do if someone is tailgating you? You adjust your speed, maintain speed. Tailgaters follow you from behind. If you speed up, you're going to lose your distance and space in the front. Good question. So the $35 is not for virtual. Every school, all schools in our state have to follow the rules. If we were in Texas, they have to follow Texas rules. If we were in New York, Nebraska, California, they have to follow those rules. You can't just do what you want to open a driving school. I think I answered the majority of your questions. I thought it was very educational. Thank you, guys. I appreciate. Give me 1 second. Stay on. Don't move. All right, guys. You're going to start doing your work right now. I'm going to do a screen share. I'm going to show you. Give me 1 second. I went over your questions. I was thorough. You're going to start working. Let me bring this up. And I've already showed you. Because you're going to start working now, and then I got to do the attendance, and I got to do everything else. We're going to continue. All right, guys, I did a screen share. You need to look in your email. You had 3 PDFs. The first one, course outline. You slide it down. You do sign pretest, and whatever driver must know. That's what you're doing right now. That's all you're doing right now. Please get started. Write your answers on a sheet of paper. And then when you're done, take a screenshot, send it to me. Guys, this is very powerful tonight. I thought we did a good job of really taking you through the journey of a beginning driver. Those of you who are watching, thank you. Those of you who are watching from around the world, you've got to really teach good driving fundamentals. You got to make sure your sons and daughters know how to drive. It's your responsibility. It's my responsibility. It's the community's responsibility. Real talk. Hey, Gold, how are you doing? Thank you for coming in. Make sure you look at all the videos. What I've learned is that you speak honesty. You speak truth. You always make sure that your drivers are prepared. In New York, you have to be older. You have to be 18. It's called a junior license. Every state is different. Ohio, in Florida are changing the rules and laws, and I think it's really good. Also, you see a crackdown on semi truck drivers. A lot of drivers have been killed, and because semi truck companies and drivers are not honest with their drive logs, drivers who should be off the road are driving. You're going to see a backlash of drivers who should not be on the road. And unfortunately, this is where we are in 2025. I'm talking about the trends right now. I get a lot of questions from truck drivers, and I'm just typing this in, right? And I want to go over this with you because a lot of truck drivers have shouted out. Truck driving rules, USA, are governed by the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration. Hours of service, which include an 11-hour drive limit. So check it out. These drivers are driving 11 hours. That's a lot. Okay, I might drive 6 or 8 or 10, but 11 hours. After 10 consecutive hours off duty, a 14-hour total duty time window, mandatory 30-minute breaks after every 8 hours of driving, and a 60/70-hour duty limit over 7/8 days, resets after 34 hours, rest restart. So a lot of drivers are breaking these laws. They're not honest in the logbook. You see a lot of tractor truck accidents, and this is a whole new world to me. So 11-hour drive limit, 14-hour driving window, 30-minute break. That's nothing. So also a lot of these truck drivers are failing truck inspections, and that's on the owner operator. Vehicle inspections, drivers must conduct a pre-trip and post-trip inspection and report any defects. My brakes are not working right. I have a big gash in my tire. My oil levels are low. Drug and alcohol testing. Drivers are subject to pre-employment, post-accident, random periodic drug checks. I believe I am too. And in a car. Look, I'm not chasing money anymore. If you guys knew me 12 years ago, 14 years ago, I'm still the same. I have more hair. I'm still the same, but I'm doing 80, 90, 100 hours. Of course, I was younger then, still working, still coaching, still teaching. I have unlimited income. If I can make $100,000 in 1 year doing driver's ed and teaching, I'm making this money. But at what cost? I'm going to be sick. I'm going to be tired. My health, I'm going to have sleep apnea, diabetes, cancer. I'm going to miss my driving appointments. I'm going to show up late. I'm going to cut hours. I'm not going to be good on my paperwork. Why would I put myself through that? Right? So you'll learn your lesson. Whatever job you have, if you cut it to the limit, you're going to choose, do I go to my daughter's bar mitzvah or do I do driver's ed? I go to my daughter's bar mitzvah. Do I go to my son's football game or do I do driver's ed? I'm going to my son's football game. Do I become a varsity coach at an inner city team or do I have to be at the location to give my test? And you have to be a certified instructor. I can't just pull E out and say, E, can you cover my class for me? I got you, Myles. But you're not a state certified driving instructor. And that test is invalid. So if you're cutting it too close, you just can't do it. So I've learned to separate my private life, driver's ed, teaching, and it's hard. So you got to learn to balance. Like I could be driving, I have to drive after class. I don't want to, but I have to. Okay, it's crazy, E. Yeah, it's crazy. You can make crazy amounts of money, but a lot of people want the money, but they don't want to put in the work. They can't be in a car with a kid who's going to crash or have panic attacks, or an adult who's going to grab the wheel and argue with you, right? Learn your boundaries. E, I needed you like 10 years ago. Like, you're like slapping me, a slap my head. What are you doing, Myles? You speak some, you got to learn your boundaries. And when you're young, you're like, I can work 80, 90, or 100 hours, right? Cut out the distractions. Life is the distraction. Being in a car, going to go get something to eat, driving on the road, your life will pass you by. You'll start young, you'll wake up an old man or old lady and be alone by yourself. Do I go to my wedding or do I do driver's ed? Do I go to the doctor because I have high blood pressure or do I do driver's ed? You got to make time for yourself. Okay. Right. Radio, phone, social media. Yes, it all plays a role in it. And with more drivers are falling asleep, particularly semi-truck drivers. So there's a lot to consider, and people are losing their lives. Okay, what I did, I typed in truck driver accidents in the last 60 days, right? And we're going to talk about this. How many accidents can a CDL driver have? No fixed limit. Truck operators who hold a commercial driver's license face strict regulations regarding their accident history. There is no fixed limit on how many collisions a driver can have, but federal regulations of FMCSA prioritize the severity and circumstances. So let's pretend the old lady cut you off. You couldn't stop. You're hauling 80,000 pounds. You're just going to have to run her over. I can't stop. It's the lady's fault. Okay. What is a 70-hour, 8-day rule? DOT 70 hours, 8-day rule prohibits commercial drivers from being on the road more than 70 hours over 8 consecutive days. If you're trying to chase money, let's look at this. I was recently in an accident and was terrified of a new person with a permit. Listen, you are correct. Because and they're new truck drivers. Imagine, I'd be terrified. Imagine hauling 50,000 pounds. I'm a new truck driver, shifting at 18 speed. Doom, doom, doom. I probably could do that. And then cars are tailgating me, cutting me off. Like I had to pick up my daughter from college. I was in a U-Haul truck. And, I had some GoPro on and all this. I call it the ball-headed cam. But cars will tailgate you, cut you off from the left, and tailgate you and cut you off from the right. It's terrifying. Okay. So you got to learn, you got to watch. Thank you, E. Anyone who's new is dangerous. A new lawyer, dangerous. A new doctor, dangerous. A new dentist, dangerous. A new heart surgeon, dangerous, because they have malpractice insurance, right? If I kill you on my operating table, okay, you're going to get $250K. You just lost your dad. You just lost your mom. Why? Because I'm a new doctor. You need to have about 500 surgeries before you know what to do. Just think about that. If I was a new instructor now, I would really think twice. Am I getting proper training? Does this driver's ed company really care about me, right? Are they going to listen to my complaints and concerns? It's just someone that I can talk to. You think about that, right? If I have a really rough class or I have parents who are totally not respecting my boundaries, right? What I've learned, I'm not going to drive you because driving is a privilege, not a right. And I get a lot of parents and students who are entitled. They think, well, you're going to work around my schedule. We work together. And it's protecting my boundaries. Thank you, E. It's protecting your boundaries. I'm not going to try to kill myself for a student who doesn't really appreciate my personal space. And really, I shouldn't be driving tonight, to be honest. But I'm going to drive these students with fidelity. I'm going to take my time. I always drive in groups of 2. I never drive in a group of 1. Protection. Can a driver be fired for an accident? Yes, truck drivers can be fired for accidents, particularly if the accident was their fault due to negligence resulting in significant damage of harm. Could I get fired from being a driver's ed instructor if I have an accident? Yes. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go to sleep at night. E, I'm going to stay hydrated. E is really big about hydration. I'm going to stay hydrated. I'm going to rest. I'm not chasing money, right? I know how much money I'm underpaid, by the way. I'm not going to say how much I make, but over a year, it is in it's upwards. Okay, it's over 40 to 80K, but you got to put in the work, and that's where my father was a truck driver for years, and the amount of things people do to truckers is so scary. I give them their distance. Amen. Thank you, Sonny. I appreciate you, Sonny. I had a good friend in high school. I'm not going to say his name. He would drive his truck home sometime, and I'm like, wow, that thing is big. And E, that's the same guy who we went on the trip through the tunnel into Buffalo, New York. It takes a lot. So yes, you got to give them space. I never cut off trucks. While a minor unavoidable accident might lead to termination, such as a driver's responsibility for the crash, company safety policies and the severity of damages and the pattern of reckless behavior all influence a company. So let's pretend, I'm the A1 instructor. I keep having minor fender benders, side swipe, rear in the car, keep getting hit. Eventually, the company's going to fire me because I'm costing them money. Let's think about that. How many hours can a truck driver drive in 24 hours? It is 11 hours. There's no limit on me as an instructor, but if I stay up late past look, real talk. I used to play video games all night to 6 in the morning. My son was like 1, 2 on my arm. I'm playing video games. I'm winning. I'm beating you. Then I got to go to work. Then I got to teach a class. And then I got to drive to 11 o'clock at night, 12 o'clock at night. I'm going to fall asleep. I'm going to get tired. Why would I put myself through that? You got to have those boundaries. I work midnights, and I have learned that to drive early mornings or late nights, my nerves will kill me. And what advice would you give me? Sonny, I think when you can, maybe not right now, you got to try to not work midnights. That's really hard on your body. Your sleep cycle's messed up. But if that's all that you can do right now, Sonny, when it's time for you to rest during the morning, your mom can't talk to you, your girlfriend can't talk to you. No one, you gotta shut down everything. You gotta protect your rest so you can be at your peak working and I've worked a midnight shift. It's like 10:30, 11 o'clock. Your body's like, it's time for me to fall asleep. And you're driving like 11:30 at night and the highway's empty. And then you get to work. And then you're by a machine. You're going to lose an eye. You're going to lose a finger. And then you're sleeping in the bathroom. You are hiding in the workroom. I can tell you so many stories. So right now, you just got to take care of yourself and try to rest when you can. You can't, hey, can you take us to the store? Can you drop us off at school? You got to rest. You got to fight for your rest. Then I drove to and from work several times, got better, but learning curves because I'm 28, newbie. You know what, Sonny? It takes 10 years. The biggest thing I go through right now is roundabouts. If you don't drive a lot in your early 20s or late teens, you're driving 24, 25, 27. If you're not used to getting on the interstate, you're going to be overwhelmed. Like I had a social media event at a drag strip in Illinois. I took I-94 to I-80. I was driving about 70 or 75. They were doing 85, 87, 90. And I'm not a slow driver, but the speed limit is 70. They're going 10 over, 15 over, 20 over. If a truck merges out, you're going to hit the truck. You just kind of have to insulate yourself from really crazy drivers. Drive in the middle lane. If you drive fast in the slow lane, you're going to have to keep cutting over. Cars are merging. If you drive fast in the left lane, cars are going to be going 80, 85, 90, 100. And you're like, I'm already doing 80. Why are you tailgating me? They got to get to work. They're in that Mustang. And E, this is for you. They're in that Hellcat. They're in that track car. They're going to do, if you're in a regular car, 70 or 80 is fast. If you're in a Hellcat, a Mustang, a T-Rex, your life starts about 95 miles an hour to 120 because you got the horsepower to change lanes. You got the horsepower to zip in and out of traffic. But the problem is you're going to have that car or truck that's doing 60 and you're doing 100. That's 40 over. Or you're doing 120 because you're late to work. Now you're going to swerve and almost lose control. And then if you're too out of pocket, people are going to take a picture of your license plate. They're going to video you and call the state police. There's a person in a orange Hellcat doing 130. Officer, I was doing 75 and they passed by me like I was standing there. I have a video. I took a screenshot of their license plate. They're going to radio ahead, get a state trooper out there and pull you over. This is where we live in 2025. So a few years ago, you can zip in and out of traffic, but people have dash cams. I have a dash cam sometime when I put it in, right? So that's that Hellcat for you. And the Hellcat, I appreciate the advice. It means a lot because I'm learning how to drive. Thank you. You know what, Sonny? Take one day at a time. If you can leave earlier, to half an hour earlier. But for you, you work midnights. Your sleep is so important. Your sleep is your life. This is where your body repairs itself. Your brain goes through all types of emotional challenges. Your body is broken down. When you sleep, your brain repairs itself. Your body repairs itself. If you're not getting deep REM sleep, you're always going to be in that tired state. Yeah, you got to plan your trips. And know your, speak them facts. You got to plan your trips. There's certain areas when I drive every day, crazy dangerous. There's certain areas where I drive, not as dangerous. Intersections are always dangerous. Merging on the freeway, always dangerous. Weave lanes, not like weave in your hair, but weave lanes where you cross traffic, always dangerous. You got to know your area, leave early, really stay hydrated. Ashton, I'm 30. I still don't have my license either. Like Sunny, I've always lived in a small town, don't need it, but I want to change that. Well, here you go. You need to reach out for a coaching call with me. In the end, there's a link in my bio on the channel. Set up a coaching call. So if you're in your third, look, it's so, do you see how God works right now? You see how God works right now? I'm going to be meeting with a financial literacy coach next week. We're going to talk about putting together a nonprofit where we're going to be videotaping classes. It'll be on Zoom. We'll figure it out. And then you would be an ideal candidate, especially on the left turn lanes. You know what? Left turn lanes are like drag racing lanes. If the speed limit is 70, they're doing 90. If the speed limit is 80, they're going to try to go as fast as they can based on traffic. The average speed is about 77 miles an hour. Even though I'm about booking with you, how does this exactly work? Okay, Sonny, when I'm done with this live, you're going to go to the link in my bio. I have a stand store. You're going to set up a coaching call with me. I have a Google Calendar, and it will book a time. You set up a coaching call so I can rather talk to you and give you some support, right? That's real talk. But I'm talking to you right now. It's got to be a personal decision. You live in the other person, author said he lives in Ashton. No, Ashton says he lives in a small town, but eventually you're going to want to drive on your own. You're going to want to take yourself to the store. Go get a coffee at Tim Hortons. Go to get coffee at Starbucks. Go downtown. Um, Go get away from everyone. You're going to need some personal time because when you first start driving, you're just going to be driving around, taking trips. My daughter and her girlfriends, they used to just go to the school and hang out. I'm like, Emily, what are you doing? Dad, I'm just going to get the truck and we're just going to drive around and then we're going to hang out at the school, right? That's what young people do. When they get done with high school, they go to the high school. You do want your independence, and driving does give you independence because you don't have to rely on an Uber or Lyft. Hey, real talk, let me tell you a story. About 3 years ago, doing driver's ed at a major location, one of my students, I'm like, class has been over for an hour. Why are you still here? I'm waiting for my Uber to come. I'm waiting for my Lyft. I'm like, what? My mom puts money into my account every month. Okay. My mom puts my money in my account every month. I'm like, girl, get in the car. I'm going to have one of my students take you. She's like, oh, thank you. So I think that because of Uber, because of Lyft, a lot of people who would normally get their license at a 18, at a 19, at a 21, 25. I'm used to Uber and Lyft. 27. We just had a young lady today. She just turned 21. I think she took a bus across the state. She got a used car. She drove it across, and I'm so happy for her, right? I can't go for a late night yet. Test still the 30-day mark. I get it, Sonny. You need to watch my videos. I make night driving videos, early morning videos, rain videos, snow videos, because I kind of give you a vlog style. Thank you. I try to give you a vlog style. What is it like driving at night? It's scary. Now I just had these on because of the ring light. I don't wear glasses yet, but you need to make sure your windshield is really clean. You need to make sure the headlights are clean. If you wear eyeglasses, wear them. You're going to have a lot of night glare, right? A lot of people are soft and spoiled. A lot of people are very entitled. They think, hey, I'm on the road. You're going to get out of my way. I flash my lights. And you know what's funny today? Our good person at work, Flo, she's like, your sister, Auntie, I honestly like driving early in the morning. It is smooth. It is soothing. E will tell you, I go live early in the morning. I try to leave the house by 6:30. Like, E, I left today. You're like, no one's on the road, Myles, because of the holiday. And I was just chilling, right? And it's so chilled. Like, once I got through some of the suburban areas and the city areas, I had room. But we did not go all the way to the downtown area. But if you can leave a half an hour early, like if I left the house at 7:30, forget it. It's bumper to bumper to bumper to bumper. People go fast, cut you off. People go fast, cut you off. Do I really want that? No. On the main thoroughfare, it's usually smooth, but people are speeding. The speed limit's 45. They're doing like 55, trying to cut in front, cut in front. I don't want that because all that does is irritate, right? So, like he said, really know your route. Know when to leave early, okay? Make sure you are organized and know how to use. Yes, you got to check that blind spot. I see it because remember, I'm a teaching driver's ed over 24 years. I look at drivers' behavior. Is this driver going to check their blind spot? They just do this. They're not really checking blind spots. And then when they sideswipe you, or you see a lady or man, no cap, no hate, they're in their early 20s, they're late to work. Everyone else is doing 40, they're doing 50. They're doing 55. Because they'll tailgate, cut over. They'll tailgate, cut over. And then a traffic light catches them. And I'm like laughing like, this car's speeding, and in 3 lights, I'm going to be right where they are. And usually I am. And that's how accidents happen. That's how pedestrians get ran over because they go from the left lane, they cut to the middle lane, they cut to the right lane, and then they cut over. Because on one of these major thoroughfares, there's a lot of pedestrian foot traffic. You got to put on your seatbelt. Amen to that. You have to put on your seatbelt consistently, and drivers don't put on their seatbelts. This is why they're thrown from the vehicle. If you're a young person, you like, I got my nice button-down shirt on. Make sure you got all your fluids and maintenance, maintenance, maintenance. I don't have the windshield washer solvent with me, but maintenance. In fact, I'm gonna go get it. Just hold up. No, I won't get it right now. You got to stay on your maintenance. You have to. Oh yeah, I've seen it that particularly an other day, semis flew out in front. Make sure you're. The one thing I wanted, because I'm in the car all the time, driver said the company put on new tires for me. I just said I needed 2 new front tires. They did all new brakes, all front tires. Tires are really important because in the wintertime, you're going to have ice and snow. And E is one of my top viewers. When I start the car in the morning, this car, it takes about 10 minutes. I'll start the car up. I'll leave from the house. I'll go up through McDonald's. I'll get gas. The window is ice. Make sure your car has the first. E, are you an instructor? Yes. We have a first aid kit in the car too. You're like, do I really need that? Let's go to the store and get a first aid kit, right? It's true. Get that first aid kit. And you want to make sure, hold on, you want to make sure that you are getting everything you need and making sure that you are ready. You want to make sure that you are ready for your day. Like, he kind of knows me now. You can tell by my voice if I'm tired. Like, I have to drive 2 hours tonight. And if I stay up to 12 or 1 or 2, I'm going to be exhausted. I'm going to get up late tomorrow morning. I try to have all my clothes ready to go. You got to be organized. Have your clothes ready to go. Have your lunch ready to go. Organized. But if you're young, you're going to wait till the last second. Know the basics. Yes, you got to know you got to know the stuff, but I don't know about my car. Take a class. Look at the internet thing, right? How do accident settlements, how much are truck accident settlements? Hundreds of thousands of dollars, several million. There are a lot of people who try to get in accidents with semi trucks to get $1 million settlement because trucking companies would rather pay than go to court. Because I'm an instructor, we have special insurance. Your license can be taken away. Driving is a privilege, not a right. It can be taken away. The same thing with me. What are some of the big things about trucks and also driving? The big factor is catastrophic injuries, traumatic brain injury. I am not trying to have a spinal injury. This means I'll be paralyzed. Really? I want to be paralyzed. I try to be well rested. LOL, yes. You got to be well rested because I go back to when I was online with E. I was driving, just talking. E knows me now. She can tell by my voice. I'm rested. I always get my water from McDonald's. I always get my coffee. I get my sausage egg McMuffin. I have those things ready so when I get back into the car, I can stay hydrated. You get about $200 max. So it really depends. But every state is different. Every county is different. If you're talking about traumatic brain injuries, that's multiple hospital care, multiple after hospital therapy where you're learning how to walk again. You're going to be sued. And if you have a catastrophic injury and you're at fault, a catastrophic accident, you're at fault. Yes, definitely do not want. Yeah. Because every day, as you get older, every day you get up and walk. That's a blessing. You get up, walk out to your car, get into the car. That's the blessing. Make sure you can afford your car. 100%. E, I needed you more a couple of years ago. I was in a car I couldn't afford. SRT, Grand Cherokee Trailblazer. Broke your neck last year. So broke the neck. Oh my God. How did you break your neck? And that's what I was scared of when I first started teaching driving. I'm like, am I going to have whiplash? Am I have to wear? But I don't think about those big You got to be able to reach the pedal soft. So a lot of beginners, you got to have your heel on the ground. You read my mind. You read my mind. I need to have you come on this line. You read my mind. A lot of beginners don't reach the pedal properly. They don't reach the pedal. Guys, I need you to go ahead and put in some questions. We're going to be ending in about 5 minutes. I like it that you're working. Put in some questions, and then I'll answer those questions. You got about 5 minutes. Put in your questions. I think it's really important that I was caught outdoors with no shelter covered. Oh, in a tornado. Oh, my God. Wow. Oh, that's serious. Whoa. Wow. A lot of companies, there's more early warning detection, right? There's more early warning detection. And you can't play with Mother Nature. I was caught in like a tornado, heavy rainstorm with one of my students. It was like a heavy downpour. Like we couldn't see. We had an emergency. And then it was a heavy downpour. We were on the expressway. We just got right under the bridge. That was the safest. I've been in those heavy downpours. And it's scary for any driver. And if you're with new drivers who don't know how to drive, you know you're going to crash. I had 3 football players. I'm not going to say where I was. I had 3 football players. Kid kept hugging the right in the wintertime. I was in a Toyota. No, I was in a Honda Civic. No cap. The kid hugged the right, went off the ditch, down in 5 feet down. He started crying. I'm like, it's not your fault. But you didn't listen to me. You kept hugging the right. I told him, Mother Nature is no joke. Bro, we're not messing with Mother Nature. Okay? And if it's an ice storm, we shut down driving. This is why I don't have my drives so tight. Okay? Don't mess with Mother Nature. Yes, you remember, I have those videos. There was a huge flood a few months ago. The school parking lot was full of water. We had kids swimming in the water. I'm not lying. They were swimming in the water in the parking lot, in the high school parking lot. Okay? You take a screenshot, send it to me. Take a screenshot, send it to me. Take a screenshot of work, just send it to me. Okay, let's go ahead and answer some of these questions as we go along. If you get pulled over the first year of driving, will your license be taken away? It depends on what type of ticket it is. It depends on the severity. You don't want to get a ticket. If you get a ticket, you won't be in segment 2 in 3 months. You take a picture. You take a picture. You got my number. Send it to me. Where is every driver must know? You Google it. It's due tomorrow. Is it safe to assume? You want to get it done. Isabel, don't wait. Try to get as much as you can get done. Balance it out. We got a couple minutes. I'm answering questions. Are we answering 47? You answer it all. Yes. Is it more difficult to get a motorcycle permit than normal permit? I would probably say yes. You have to have your automotive permit for a certain amount of time. Then when you're a certain age, you're going to get your motorcycle endorsement. What do you do if someone is tailgating you? Maintain speed. Tailgaters tend to tailgate you really closely, and if you maintain a good speed, they'll drive around you. The $35 charge for the virtual meeting, no. It is for in-person driving. Can you and how do you study whatever driver must know? You have to read it. Remember what I said, you read that information, you answer the questions. The questions are very specific, and you have to read through. I go over everything in detail, right? I go over everything. You got to study this information. And this is, remember, the first week you're going to be overwhelmed. You're starting school, you're starting college, you're dual enrolled, you're taking college classes, and you're dual enrolled. Give me 1 second. I need all of you to put your first, middle, last name, and date of birth into the chat. Do that right now, and then I will see you tomorrow. Put your first, middle, last name, and date of birth into the chat for my students. Do that right now, and then you can go. I do have to go. I do have driving, and then we'll talk more tomorrow. So all of you do that. And all of you who are in this class, please put it in now. I'm going to cut and paste it. We have a couple of new students who aren't on the roster. So type it in right now as it appears. Please do that right now. All right. We can only be here 2 hours. I should have everyone's name in there. I'm going to cut and paste it, and then I'm going to go from there. Give me 1 second. All of you put your first, middle, last name, and date of birth into the chat. It's all good. And then you're free to go. So I'm cutting and pasting everyone's name right now. All right. Bye, guys. I'll see you. I'm going to copy. Put this into a Word document. Hang on. Give me 1 second here. All right, I should have everyone's name. I'm going to double check. All right, let me check again. I'll give it a second one. All right, guys, those of you who are still on, we went through a lot. Give me 1 second. All right, guys, we went through a lot today, a lot of good learning going on. Let me repaste this. And really very educational. And that's what it's all about, paste. New class. Oh, I hate this keyboard. /. All right. Hey, guys, ladies, I want to say thank you, E. Thank you for what you bring, building this community. And E, unfortunately, I got to go out and drive for 2 hours, and then I'll see you in the AM. I want to say thank you for all of you who took the time to listen to this. Hopefully, this is educational to you, building that community, building that friendship. You know, subscribe, look at all the videos, set up a coaching call. E, thank you for everything that you bring. And then we got a new person, you know, Ashton, you know, just learning a lot. And a lot of people are in their late 20s, early 30s learning how to drive. Okay, I'm going to end the live. Look at all the videos. I will talk to you tomorrow, E. Bye.